Okay, in this video we'll be looking at dividing algebra stuff, which is of course very similar to how multiplication works because it's just the opposite. Just to be clear though, we will still draw a picture of this at first, so we're used to the 8x here being our 8 boxes of Smarties. Then what does dividing by 4 mean? It means if we take all 8 boxes and split it into 4 equal sections, we find that every single section holds 2 boxes of Smarties. So our answer must be 2 boxes, which means 2x. But it's good to see as well that just like for multiplication, we can sort of focus on just the numbers, so just the 8 and 4 on the left, and sort them out first. Of course, we know that 8 divided by 4 is 2. Then the x will come along. And so just like multiplication, you can sort of put it all together and handle the numbers and the letters separately. So let's look at a trickier example. There's a negative here which we might sort out first, just like with the multiplication. Remember, the way negatives work with division is exactly the same as with multiplication. Both multiplying or dividing by a negative will just flip the number around. So we have a positive 18, which we'll draw with an arrow pointing up. Then we're dividing by a negative 30, so the negative will turn the arrow so it's pointing down. So we expect to write something negative in the end. Also, once things get a little trickier, I reckon it's easiest to pop these guys straight into a fraction. Normally fractions are easier to deal with in these contexts, so we'll set up a negative fraction because our arrow was pointing down, remember? Then we'll pop the 18xy on top with the 30y on the bottom. The negative has been sorted out already, and really it's made the whole fraction point down, go negative. Okay, so we just sort out the simplification of the fraction now. So let's sort out the numbers first. Okay, it's just like simplifying. We're thinking what goes into both 18 and 30. Hopefully you recognize that 6 does, so we can divide them both by 6. Upstairs, 18 divided by 6 is 3, and downstairs, 30 divided by 6 is 5. So that's the numbers done. Now for the letters, which honestly is the easier part, I reckon. Okay, common factors are super easy to spot, because it's just whenever you see the same letter being multiplied on top and bottom. And here, it's the y. Okay, so there's a y multiplying on both top and bottom, so we can divide them away. And so all that's left is the x upstairs, and we're finished. Last example here, we'll again start by dealing with the negatives. So the negative a we might draw as a number pointing down, then dividing by another negative would flip it so it points up. Okay, so we're going to put this into a fraction again, but we know the fraction we're expecting to write down will now be a positive. So let's pop the a and the 9abc in there, with the negatives now gone because they ended up pointing in the positive direction. Now there's no number upstairs, so all we can see to simplify here is to cancel the factor of a from both top and bottom. And often at this point, people wonder if everything has been cancelled up top, then what do we put there? What do we write there? Well, remember that cancelling, or simplifying a fraction, is actually just dividing top and bottom by the same number, which in this case is the number a. And the cool thing about all non-zero numbers is that whenever you divide them by themselves, you always get the number 1. So like 4 divided by 4 is 1, 7 divided by 7 is 1. It works for any non-zero number. So when you divide by yourself, you always get 1, and so that's why we put the number 1 upstairs. Then on the bottom, it will just be the same thing, but with the a cancelled away. So that's what happens when everything cancels away, and that's about it for division for now. We're just going to end with a warning though. If we see a fraction like this, we might be tempted to cancel the x's because, well, there's an x both upstairs and downstairs, right? But no, that is illegal. That is very wrong and very upsetting to see. Why is that? Because back when we did fractions, we saw that simplifying only works by dividing top and bottom by the same thing. Or multiplying, same deal, remember? But we absolutely cannot add or subtract the same number top and bottom. That will change the number, as we saw when we did fractions. Okay, so we can't do something illegal like subtract the x from both. That is not okay. So this guy is as simplified as can be. We can't do much more with this guy for now. Okay, so that's all for this video though. Thanks for watching, and I will see you around.